Hey everyone, hope you all are doing great. I am Parth Varu, Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru. And yes, I welcome you all to the another episode of Copilot Chronicles. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding the differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. We encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. I would now not like to delay further. I'd like to bring in our host for Copilot Chronicles, Kamalashri, who is also a developer advocate from Microsoft 365 team. Hey, hi Kamal, how are you?
Hey Pat, I'm good. How are you?
All well, doing great. Sessions looks exciting. I have like too many people in the backstage. So what's coming up
Interesting.
next?
So, firstly, I'm always excited. So, firstly, audience, thank you so much for the overwhelming response again for the Copilot Chronicle series. But this time we've got in a twist where I remember the first day when I really started Copilot Chronicles Path. So, I did know the urge for the Copilot. The audience wanted some series where they dwell into Copilot in and out with different flavors. So this time I am eagerly waiting to introduce another series where we have an amazing set of technology folks from Microsoft where we are excited to kick off a new series called Amplify. So it's just not just a tech series where you just talk about a particular concept. No, it's designed to accelerate your journey into the world of Dynamics 365 Copilot and Power Platform AI ecosystem. So I will not kind of reveal everything because I have the entire team here in the background waiting to jump in and talk more about it. So I will hand it over to them. So, folks, we are introducing another series who will also be a part of Microsoft Reactor. Every week, you can get a flavor of Power Platform and Dynamics 365. So
Yep.
let's not wait. Path, what do you say? Let's welcome them.
Yep. We're all
Definitely.
ready.
Yeah. So welcome Harshid, Kundan, Manmat, Niharika, Bharat. Welcome to the Microsoft Reactor in collab with Copilot Chronicles. A very warm welcome to all of you folks.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's really nice to be here. I've got some of my core team members also for the Amplify program. And let's get started. Manmat, you want to share the slides?
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. So this is the Amplify series launch slide. We are part of Global Delivery Center in Microsoft. We are based out of Hyderabad, India. Let's quickly understand what is the Amplify series. Our work at Global Delivery Center involves working with our customers very deeply to deploy the latest Dynamics and Power Platform AI solutions. So we designed this series to bring our deep understanding of product features as well as real life use cases or specific implementations of core and AI features across these two products. We are talking about real experience in most of these sessions that we will have. So it will add real good value for you to attend these sessions. With AI becoming a core part of how we build, work, and engage, Amplify really aims to empower you and your teams with the knowledge that they need to not just use, but truly unlock the value of Copilot. This includes helping you to understand the what, the why, and most importantly, the how. The series is structured to span across four key themes. We begin with core introductions to set the foundation. Then we go deeper into specific feature areas to explore Copilot capabilities. And then we bring out the agentic experiences where participants get to see how AI agents can really drive autonomous goal oriented outcomes. And then finally, we focus on custom development using Copilot Studio, how to extend the Copilots that are already there in the product across the Dynamics as well as the Power Platform landscape, right? Again, through Amplify, our goal is to help you unlock AI driven productivity, foster innovation, and prepare your teams to lead in this new era of intelligent business applications. Next slide, please, Manman. All right, quick introductions. I'm Harshad. I'm a consultant manager at Global Delivery Center in Microsoft. I've been here for 10 years. And I really like working with the Dynamics and Power Platform capabilities that our products bring. Um, Moving on, Devansh, if you're online.
My camera is bad. Hello, I am Devansh. I am a technical consultant at Microsoft. I work with our enterprise customers to adopt Dynamics and Power Platform, and I have a total experience of 3 years. Next to Kundan.
Hey, hi everyone. I am Kundan and I am a Dynamics 365 and Power Platform consultant. So I have been with Microsoft for
You
past
are
9 years.
considering those also?
See, again, because that closed, because you have closed in this print, have you just pulled from the last print?
Pass on to Bharat.
Thank you. My name is Bharat Bambania. I've been working with Microsoft on Dynamics and Azure technologies for more than a decade. It's been a fantastic journey so far, transitioning from .NET to Azure and to Dynamics, and then now Copilot and the entire agentic era. Apart from implementing large to very large implementation for the customers of Microsoft, I'm also leading. AI and Copilot initiatives and adoption drives for Microsoft at Global Delivery Center. And love to have you all on these sessions. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I am Niharika. I have been working with Microsoft for around 4 years, and last 2 years I have been working deeply with customer focused on Copilot and AI. So great sharing that knowledge with all of you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Manmat. I'm principal consultant working here with Dynamics platform. I have been with Microsoft from past 14 years, and I have had a great opportunity to work across various industries and organizations and geographies, helping organizations implement Dynamics 365. So in this journey, I have seen platform evolve, solving real world problem, and being part of digital transformation across the globe. What excites me right now is this is the most incredible time where of innovation, where we are seeing a lot of artificial intelligence use cases that are coming up, and the space of change is rapid. I truly believe that we are just scratching the surface of what is possible, and I'm here to share my experiences, learn from all of you, so that we can grow together as a community. All right, so with respect to this Amplify series, uh, just who should attend this series is uh, all the developers, or technical consultants, functional consultants, technical managers, solution architects, or a business analyst, where we will delve deeper into some of the use cases that we are seeing, or we will discuss what is possible. So from that perspective, this series will be helpful for everybody who has curiosity to learn about artificial intelligence and what is possible with Dynamics 365. Moving on, why we have introduced this series? The primary reason is the AI, which is changing the way we work, and how it is changing. It is changing because the way we see it is, we are looking at the agentic future. And when I say agentic future, it refers to artificial intelligence system that operates as autonomous agent, which is capable of planning tasks or making decisions or taking actions to achieve outcomes with minimal human interaction. uh, Unlike traditional AI, and when I say traditional AI, which often acts as a passive tool that responds to prompts, or we request for some information and we get some sort of response. But in case of agentic AI, it behaves more like a proactive digital assistant that can carry out multiple steps, that can carry out multiple tasks. It can learn from interactions. It can dynamically adapt its behavior based on the context. So with agentic future, we can automate end-to-end business processes, and how these business processes can be automated using agents with Dynamics 365 platform. We will delve deeper as we go through this series. So we have scheduled multiple sessions, and each session focuses on specific use cases or specific tools that Dynamics 365 provides. We will look into that one. Now, going to just to understand the evolution of this traditional SaaS model to agentic AI. I just wanted to touch base on how this technology or how agentic AI has evolved so far. So far, what we have been doing is it's a traditional SaaS model. And when I say traditional SaaS model, any business application that we see a multi-layer approach that we follow to implement any kind of business application, wherein we have a UI layer, which is centralized and standard user interface, which has limited flexibility with respect to user experience customizations. Again, end user interaction, it is tightly coupled with application workflows that are configured. Then we will have a business logic layer, or what we call process and logic layer, which is a monolithic or tiered middleware, where we implement multiple APIs, multiple services, which is again could be a subscription based, where based on subscription you can access features, or there are certain access controls that are in place. Again, this business logic layer is specific to a specific business, which is rigid, where we implement rules based on certain processes, based on certain industries, based on organizational needs. It has limited adaptability uh, to user context or a behavior, because over the period of time it is possible that the user context may change or behavior may change. And if those context or behaviors are changing, we will have to go back and make the changes to this process and logic. And last but not least, the data layer, wherein we see the data store, which is a centralized data store, uh, where we store the data in a structured format, which is a schema driven storage, and which is being used for reports or insight based on the static data model. So this is the traditional SaaS model that we have been using so far. And how it is how it has evolved. So in last few months we have seen there is a evolutionary step in artificial intelligence world, where again the structure of the application, primarily it may not have changed. We still see the UI layer, which is a front end, which is traditional UI with maybe selective AI enhancements where we use smart forms or we use chat suggestions. So that kind of enhancements that we have been doing in last few months or year uh, from AI UI perspective. There are slight improvements in user personalization also. Similarly, when we talk about process and business logic layer, where we have been using a hybrid approach where the traditional middleware continues to handle your core logic, and at the same time we have been configuring certain AI agents which augments the decision making process, like in Dynamics 365 world, if we think of features like routing, which is augmenting the decision making process and which is automating certain business processes. At the same time, we are using machine learning models for, let's say, anomaly detection or certain prioritizations or recommendations. So AI is infused in business logic layer. uh, Going to the data layer, again it is traditional storage which is enriched by your artificial intelligence or machine learning infused analytics. We are getting real time data signals which are leveraged for predictions and insights. So at each and every layer there is artificial intelligence which is infused. And then moving on to the North Star, which is agentic AI model. So uh, uh, when we look at the agentic AI model, uh, which is coming really fast, where again the application structure looks similar. We still have UI layer, business logic layer, and data layer. Only the thing is, uh, the way we see that UI layer, or which is a front end, is being replaced by Copilot experiences, where we are using natural language as a UI or chat as a UI. This UI layer is task oriented, where interfaces are driven by user goals. We do not have same rigid UI, which is little difficult for us to change. Then we are not really relying on form-based UIs. So let's say if it is a web chat, we are using adaptive cards, or we are depending on natural languages. So UI is going to completely change. Uh, when I think about the business logic layer, again, agentic AI is taking over, where agents are going to autonomously plan, reason, and act based on goals, which learns and adapts from the context and feedback that is being provided. Again, it is loosely coupled, like microservices or APIs that we use for execution. And coming to the data layer, again, there is no foundational change as such from data architecture perspective, but it serves a context provider to the agentic model. uh, A- AI uses structured and unstructured data. So probably in next few weeks or months, the kind of applications that we may see is, we may not depend on one single data structure or one single database. All the applications, probably they will talk to heterogeneous data stores. It will pull data from different systems and it will surface it to users. So that's the evolution that we see that is going to happen. So this is how this agentic future, which is transforming our traditional SaaS model to the agentic AI model. I think we are in between, where we are leaving that transformation where artificial intelligence is infused at each and every level. But our north star is to see agentic AI model, which is already there. It just from uh, the traditional AI and agentic AI perspective, uh, the kind of differences that I see personally is most likely the mode of interactions with the applications may change. And when I say mode of interaction with respect to traditional AI, it is reactive. You ask a question and we get a response back. While in agentic AI world, uh, you will see proactive initiatives where all these agents proactively they will be taking some actions, be it your approval processes or be it taking certain actions on your behalf. Agents will be doing it. From task complexity perspective, if I look at traditional AI, uh, even today we could use traditional AI to automate certain tasks where those tasks are getting executed one after another. While agentic AI, it will be a multi-step process which can perform all open-ended tasks. And then from learning approach perspective, like for traditional AIs, we have to pre-train the AI model, which is a rule-based model. While if we look at agentic AI approach, which is adaptive, which is context sensitive, it learns by itself. So these are some of the differences that we may see in next few days or weeks or months that are coming. So this is the agentic future that we look at it. And based on this, what we want to cover as part of this series is with respect to Dynamics 365, uh, what AI features that Dynamics 365 provides. So we will start with introduction to the Copilot, how we use Copilot in context of Dynamics 365. Then we will see detailed features that Copilot and Copilot Studio provides, again in the context of Dynamics 365. What all agentic experience that Dynamics 365 provides, and how do we extend this Copilot so that we can automate business processes, or we can create agents which can automate end-to-end business processes. So we will be covering this part. Uh, with respect to schedule, uh, I think we are looking at every Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We will conduct session uh, as part of this series where we will look at use cases, different use cases with respect to Dynamics 365 sales or customer service or field service and customer insights. This is the schedule that we are looking at. All right, I think so. That's all that we wanted to share with respect to Amplify series that we are planning to conduct.
All right, Manmat, I think you are officially joining the club of launching the series Amplify. So, congratulations and kudos to the entire team here. Yes, folks, we are getting this launched. The schedule is all up, available on the screen. So, based on the topic or the field of interest, you can hop in and there will be a registration link as well. So, as a general audience, Manmat and the entire team, I have like we already have so many Microsoft Learn paths, right? Or even events happening up, the tech events. Now, I want to understand how does Amplify stands unique here? Why should I go with Amplify and attend this series? Is it for more of a beginner friendly, or is it more for a 400, 500 level? How does it make more unique for me?
Yeah. Our plan is to start with level 100, level 200 learning, and we are planning to talk about specific use cases based on specific industries,
Mhm.
so that we can understand how we can implement Dynamics 365 for
Mhm.
specific use case or specific industry. So you will see real life problems or real life use cases that we can implement with.
All right. Bharat, you have a take on it? You're on mute.
Sorry, first time fault.
No
Yeah,
worries.
so you had a question around Amplify, right? So really the thought around giving the name Amplify is that if you see A and I is, kind of highlighted in blue, so it's, amplify people's, learning and, experience through AI, right? So on AI, basically. That's what it is.
Oh, that's an awesome way. AI amplifying it. Oh, that's
Yeah,
really nice.
that's Harshad's creativity there. So
Ooh,
kudos to
okay,
him.
that's nice. Great. All right. So what do I need a prior experience to attend this? Can I be a very beginner friendly or a foundational session or move gradually to a more advanced content? Or can both beginner and experienced professional come join the series? How would your series take off? Yeah,
Uh,
anybody.
Yeah, I think both beginners and experienced folks, they can join this. So as I said, that we will start with level 100, level 200 skill sets, and then we will go deeper.
Okay, great. And will this be more on hands-on practice or is it be more of session based?
It is going to be a session base.
Okay. So would you come up with some use cases with demoing or discussion or brainstorming some kind of business use case?
Yes, we will have some scenarios that we can demonstrate, and then we can get into further discussions for those scenarios.
So for another 3, 4 months, we will not have something on hands-on practice, right? It will be more on getting your theory home, something like that.
That's right. That's right.
And is there a certificate or a badge, something that you would give to the attendees who are kind of joining this as a series or something you're planning to do? A digital one,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, I think that's a really great idea. Honestly, we haven't thought about it, but we can definitely plan.
Um, we do have questions pouring in. I think Bharat is from your team answering. Yeah, Bharat is answering it. Yeah, so we have saying students can join. Definitely a good question. How is going to benefit students? Say, for example, I'm from a graduate who's going to be passed out in the next 2 years. Is it just more of an awareness, or is it more about what's trending happening in D365 or AI? What, from a student's perspective, what would they learn? How would it benefit them?
I'll take that. If you look at the technology landscape, right, especially for the those who are coming out of school and graduating in near future, if you look at the Power Platform and Dynamics 365 is really niche skill still in the market, right? And so this is a great opportunity for them to jump onto it, learn, and then get a direct ticket to the AI part of it as well, right? Because the product that we had before, the platform that we had before, really evolved into, like Manmat has mentioned, into an agentic AI experience for the future. So definitely it's a good learning for the students as well, right? This would be like any other product that they would be investing in for their career.
All right, great.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you guys have made the entire thing clear, like who's Amplify for, what Amplify is all about, who it is intended, what you're going to cover for the next 3 to 4 months with the first Thursday happening. So the schedule is up. So folks, please do join this series. You will definitely get to learn a lot from the team of experts. And thank you so much, the entire Amplify team, for joining today. Good luck. Looking forward for more sessions with you folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, you can answer the questions in the chat. And without further ado, let's move on to our next speaker, which I'm really, really excited again because I have my colleague Paolo joining here, who is going to be talking about the maker's path. See, until now, we've been talking about Copilot Chronicles, where I do the Copilot Developer Camp. I keep talking about the build part, the extend part, and we do a lot with declarative engine agents and custom engine agents. But today, for the first time, we are officially announcing it in Reactor, the maker part from the maker, Palo. Palo, welcome to the show and glad to have you on Copilot Chronicles. Looking forward for your session, what we could actually do with Copilot Studio with a flavor of platform. So how are we going to create? So looking forward to it, Palo.
Yeah, thank you, Kamal, for the warm welcome. And yes, I'm really happy to share that we introduced a new pathway in the Copilot Developer Camp, and it's a pathway dedicated to the no-code or low-code mode. So you can learn how to create or to make agents to extend Microsoft 365 Copilot using Microsoft Copilot Studio. The overall idea of the new Make path is to help you figure out the options that you have available. So, for example, nowadays, when you want to extend Copilot or when you want to create...
Paolo, just a quick question. Are you sharing your screen?
No, I'm not. You want me
Okay.
to share
Yes.
something?
I mean, the starting screen would be great.
Okay, I can definitely do that indeed. Okay, let me know when you see it. Can you see my screen now? Okay.
Almost. It's yes, great.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is the homepage of the Copilot Dev Camp. And in there, you can also find a quite useful flowchart, which helps you to figure out what you can learn by going through the content that we provide in the Copilot Dev Camp. And right now, I was talking about the left side, so the make side. And in there, you can learn how to create or to extend Microsoft 365 Copilot using the Copilot Studio Agent Builder, which means that you are in Copilot and in Copilot Chat, I mean Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, and you can create an agent from there just using the web UI of your browser. Under the cover, there is the engine of Microsoft 365 Copilot, which allows you to create a declarative agent on the fly. Then you can learn how to extend both Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat with Copilot Studio. And that's the main section of the Maker path. And then pretty soon there will also be a couple of labs about how to create SharePoint agents and about how to share those agents in Teams. So this is what we are offering if you want to learn how to extend and how to create agents using the Maker approach. As you already said, Kamal, we already have coverage for those who want to use the Pro Code approach. So working with the basic architecture and orchestrator and language model, large language model under the cover of Copilot, and so relying on declarative agents, or the custom engine agents if you want to have full control of the orchestrator, of the foundational model, and everything else in the actual implementation of your agent. So this is where what you have, and you can start from here to learn a bunch of stuff. An interesting information that I want to share is that since a couple of weeks ago, you can also go through a kind of a certification path. So if you go to the Copilot Dev Camp, which is available at akms/Copilot Dev Camp, you will also find this new awards section. In fact, we introduced a new challenge for the whole community. You can go through all of the pathways, so the make, the extend, and the build one. And if you will complete any of them, for each of them, you will get a badge. If you will complete all of them, you will get an additional badge, which will be the Path Master. We took inspiration from the judo world. I used to be a judoka when I was young, and so I influenced the choice. It's my fault if you don't like it. And if you will also complete all of the pathways, and you will become a black belt and so a path master, and you publish a sample in the community sample gallery, you will become a sample sensei. So it is up to you to invest your time to learn new stuff, to get new knowledge about developing agents for Microsoft 365, and to share your knowledge with the community and with the sample, and as such to achieve and to claim your badges and show to the community what you learned. So I don't know if you want to dig into some of these specific topics, Kamal, so I'm open to your questions or to the community questions in the chat.
We don't have, as of now, anything specific. If you have some demo or something like that.
Definitely. I can show you how you can do something with the options I was talking about. So, for example, let me go to Copilot, and I can show you that you can create agents I was telling you with the agent builder. So this is the out-of-the-box UI of Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. You can always select the Create an Agent option on the right panel. And by clicking on this command, you will be able to create on the fly an agent using the agent builder. And with this one, you simply can rely on a descriptive model. So you simply have a conversation with the Copilot Studio agent builder, and you describe what you want to have. Or you can switch to the configuration panel, and you can provide the basic settings of your agent. So, for example, if you want to create a new agent, like, I don't know, let's make an example, an HR agent, and this will be an agent, we can provide a description. This will help employees to get information, sorry for the typo, information about HR policies and documents, okay? You can provide instructions. This will be the actual set of instructions for your agent to give the specific behavior you want to have for your agent when you create your custom agent. So it could be you are an assistant helping employees to find information about HR policies and rules, just to keep it short. Actually, a real prompt, a real set of instructions should be richer, and we will soon release a set of hints and instruction about how you should properly create and define your instructions for the agent. And then you can browse for some content that, for example, you could have on your tenant in your SharePoint Online environment. So let's say that, for example, we have a site like the following one, where we have a set of documents, an hypothetical HR website, where in the documents library, we have a set of policies and rules. And that's what we want to use as the knowledge base. So we can browse for the content that we have in our tenant, and we can choose that specific document library. And here it is. We can select it, and still just and simply using the web browser, I can provide all of these settings for my agent. I can, for example, make the agent capable of generating images or generating code excerpt and stuff like that. I can provide some starter prompts, like, for example, I can say career path. Let me know how to improve my career. This could be a nice starter prompt. And by doing that, we are instructing the agent about what to suggest to the user, or hiring policies could be the title, and could be tell me how to hire new employees, and so on and so forth. So you configure, simply using the browser, the behavior of your agent, okay? Once you are done, you hit create, and you will get, in a matter of 2 seconds, a new agent that you can use with a really no-code approach, because I just use the web UI of the Copilot agent builder. That's one option you have. And of course, if I go to the agent, I will be able to interact with this agent and I can provide these prompts or any other prompt of my choice. That's one approach. But you can also work with, and of course, here you can see I get proper feedback from the agent. But you can also do more. You can use the actual Copilot Studio user interface, and you can create agents using this no-code approach. Actually, no-code, low-code here, because there might be some code-based sentences here and there when you configure the agent. Let me switch to a proper environment, like this one, for example. And here you can rely on the Microsoft Copilot Studio user experience to create your own agents. And again, by selecting the Create button, you can start creating an agent from a set of templates provided by Microsoft, or you can create a new agent completely from scratch. That's what I'm going to do right now. And again, with an experience which is almost like the previous one, you can simply have a conversation with Copilot Studio and you can define and describe what you want to get. Or you can skip to configure and you can provide the actual instructions to configure your agent. So let's say, for example, that we want to create an agent as before to support the employees. So it could be employees agent, okay? And again, we need to provide a description. You can provide a custom icon if you like. We don't really need to do that right now. And the description could be this agent helps employees and HR folks to manage content and documents about HR, okay? This will be my brief description. We, again, need to provide instructions. So this is almost the same experience as before, but you will see that then here in the Copilot Studio experience, we can do definitely more than what you can do with just the agent builder. Again, let's just provide a very simple set of instructions for the sake of simplicity. So you are an assistant helping employees to find information about HR policies and content. Okay, we can provide starter prompts as before to give a better behavior to the agent and help users to find the right sentences, the right prompts to interact with the agent. And we can add the knowledge base. But I'm going to create the agent just right now, and then we are going to improve it using the whole user experience of Copilot Studio. So here, as soon as it will be ready, we can play with the whole set of capabilities that we have in Copilot Studio. And again, we can provide a knowledge base, and it can be now a public website, a SharePoint site, a table in Dataverse, or we can even consume external services or a Microsoft Graph connector. So plenty of options here to extend these kind of agents. Let's say, for example, that we don't want still to rely on the SharePoint site that we used before. So you can recognize the same kind of user experience. I'm going to use the same set of documents as the knowledge base so far. And once I've done that, what is interesting is that, for example, we can add behavior, which is the generative AI-based orchestration to this agent, which means that based on the prompt that the user will provide to Copilot Studio, the Gen AI orchestrator will process the sentences of the prompts provided by the user using natural language processing and will determine the intent of the user. And based on that, will consume target data sources in the knowledge base or will eventually trigger topics or actions, which we are going to see what they are in a matter of few seconds. So let me enable this capability. And as soon as it will be enabled, it is not mandatory, but it is a nice one to have in new agents with the new fully AI-based approach. If we go to the topics and actions, in the topics, we can define conversational path. So we can define the flow of interaction with the user. So, for example, just to give you an idea, we can add a topic, and a topic could be something that we use to collect information from a user, or based on the information collected by the user, we use to provide output content responses to the user. We usually need to provide a description for the topic, and the description will explain to the GenAI orchestrator when this topic should be triggered. Now, just for the sake of making an example, let's say that this employees agent will allow me to manage a list of candidates for specific roles in my company. So I can use a description like, for example, the following one, just to give you an idea. I can say this is a topic that allows to add new candidates and for an hypothetical role. And to trigger this one, we can use sentences like register a new candidate, add a new candidate, and so on and so forth. So by instructing the trigger about how this topic should be triggered, then we tell to the GenAI orchestrator when this topic should be activated. Once the topic gets activated, we can do actions. And this is a UI which looks almost like what we have, for example, in Power Automate, in the Power Platform. And here we can choose to use actions available through the platform. For example, we can send a message to the user, and the message can be an image, a video, a basic card, a plain text message, or stuff like that. But we can also say, for example, that we want to ask something to the user. We want to collect information, and then we want to use that collected information to provide a response to the user. And eventually, we want to collect the information using an adaptive card, because why not? So let's say that we want to ask with an adaptive card the information about the employee that we want to register in our system. And by doing that, we can simply provide the JSON of an adaptive card right here. For example, let me open up this one. We can see that this is a JSON-based adaptive card. That's why I said low code, because you do something with your mouse and web browser, but every now and then you do something which is more like code-based, but just JSON settings or stuff like that. So here I am defining the structure of my card to collect the first name, the last name, the role, and the skills of an hypothetical candidate. And as you can see, we already see a preview of this card. And we already have on the fly the creation of a set of variables which will hold the values provided by the user. So that, for example, we can rely on an additional step in this topic. And this step could be, for example, triggering a flow in Power Automate. And by triggering a flow in Power Automate, we can create a real candidate in the target environment. This is just to give you an idea of what is the potential of this technology. Now, just for the sake of simplicity, I will simply send a message to say that, okay, I have created the employee that you are looking for, and for the sake of saving some time, I will not go through all of the process of creating the flow and all the other stuff, but we can say we have got your data and the candidate got saved into the system, okay, just to give you an idea of what's going on. And then, of course, we can say that we are done with this topic, so we can end the current topic. If I will save this topic, and I will call it register a new candidate, quite easily, in a matter of few seconds, we will be ready to trigger this topic using some of the triggering sentences, like, for example, I want to register a new candidate. And here in the right side, as you can see, I have a test section where I can test my agent. We can see on the left side the activity map, which let us know that it identified, based on the input provided by the user, my user intent. And so it triggered the topic that I just created. And I see the adaptive card to register the new candidate, which could be whoever you want, can be myself, developer, advocate, and I'm good on computer programming. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of what you can do. Now, the interesting part comes when you publish your agents. And by waiting a few more seconds, you will be able to make those agents available through multiple channels. And when I say channels, and I use the plural word, it means that we can create an agent once, and we can reuse the same agent across multiple and different channels, like, for example, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, a website, and stuff like that. I will show you soon, and actually now, what are the available channels. Here you can see this is all of the list of channels that we support right now. Let's say that you want to make this agent available in Teams and eventually in Microsoft 365. You select the channel, you choose to make this agent available through the channel that you selected. And by selecting also this option, we will make this agent available also in the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So we select add a channel, takes a while. Right now, whenever you add an agent to Teams and to Microsoft 365 by selecting this checkbox, you need to save and publish the agent one more time. This is a requirement so far. And once you will be done with that, let me do it actually now, you will be able to use your agent in Teams with a bot-like user experience or in the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. And I'm going to show you what the experience will be. Just a matter of waiting a few more seconds for the publishing to complete. So should be, yeah.
While it's getting published, there's an interesting question by one of the audience, Sabri. He says, can an agent built using Copilot Studio be submitted for the ongoing AI agent hackathon, which we are a part of it? So what's your take on it?
I would say, why not? I mean, it's an agent, like as any other agent. So have fun with it. And yes, please. Okay.
So Sabri, if you have an idea, go ahead, register for it. I think we will leave the link for you to register for the hackathon. I think the host will kind of add the link in the chat. So even if someone is not aware about this AI agent hackathon, please register. It is a complete, full-fledged a month where you have 20 plus expert-led sessions, which is streamed live on YouTube, which are already done with one of the couple of sessions already. So today, tomorrow, we do have a few more sessions and the next week. So if you have missed it, go ahead, watch the stream. You should be good to go. Yeah, Paolo.
Yeah, definitely. So now the publishing is completed. So we can go back to the channel. We can activate the Teams and Microsoft 365 channel so that we can go to availability options here and we can copy the link, which will allow us to use this agent. So let me copy this link and paste it in the web browser. And I will keep on using the web-based UI of Teams. And now I can add and open the agent that I just created. So let me select add. You see now I'm adding the agent. And as soon as it will be ready, I will be able to open and interact with it. So again, matter of waiting a few more seconds, and then we will be able to see it in action here in Teams right now. Okay, so this is the employee's agent. And as soon as we will get the welcome message from the agent, we can say, like before, I want to register a new candidate. Let's wait for the welcome message because the agent is right now writing to me and sending me a message. But as soon as it will be ready, we can trigger this initial prompt. Or maybe let me try already to submit this prompt and wait for the actual welcome. And here it is. Okay, so let me now trigger the actual action. So now this is the topic that I triggered. And I can say that again, I want to register a new employee, developer, and whatever. Since I'm not really saving the data in a real system, I'm just going through the process to show you how it behaves. But we can also use it in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So if I go here to the chat, we will see that in the right panel, we also have the same agent available here. So if we want to give to our end users the experience integrated with Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, we can use this immersive experience and still interact with the agent. So I can say, let me register a new candidate. And this will still trigger the same topic as before. So we will have again, even in the user experience of Copilot Chat, the adaptive card, and we can interact with our agent. That's one part of the story. The second and final part of the story, and I'm going to cover it very quickly, is the section based on the actions. With Copilot Studio, we can not only create topics, but also actions. And through actions, we can do actual stuff interacting with external system. So let's say that we have the site, the SharePoint Online site of the HR department with an hypothetical list of candidates stored in an Excel spreadsheet like this one. Let's say that we want to create an action to read, or maybe we can also create an action to write, to create new items in that Excel spreadsheet. Now I selected to create a new action, which will simply list rows present in a table using the Excel Online connector for Power Platform. And here you can use whatever connector for Power Platform you like, even a custom one. This will be a connector that I'm going to use to just get the list of all of the employees or the candidates actually in the list of candidates that I have in Excel. So this will be the name, and this will be the description of my custom action. And once I have created the action, I can go and configure the additional settings to target the Excel file that I want to read the data from. So here we are. We can edit this action. We can say that from an input point of view, we want to configure the location of the file as a static value, and it will be the actual URL of the SharePoint Online site that I have and that I use to store the file. For the document library, static value, I want to target the library of candidates that I have in my site. Then the name of the file is the following one. So I'm a lazy developer, so let me copy and paste the value. Sorry about that. So the file will be a static value again, and will be .xlsx. And last but not least, we want to read a specific table in the Excel file, which will be the candidates table. Let me save it. And again, we added a new capability to our agent. And by publishing the agent again, we will be able to interact with this action and send a prompt to the agent to get, for example, the candidates in a specific department. You see, we have specific roles for the candidates. We can say, give me all of the candidates with role HR director or HR manager, just for the sake of making an example. So as soon as it will be published, I can show you the behavior in the test UI of Copilot Studio, as well as in Teams or in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So now let me test it right here. Let me start a new interaction, and let me provide this prompt. As you can see now, I'm triggering the action that relies on the Excel spreadsheet. However, in order to be able to access the Excel spreadsheet, I need to connect to the Excel connector. And as such, let me do the actual connection. And once I will be connected, I will be ready to consume my external Excel spreadsheet. Okay? So let me retry. Every now and then, when you are too fast retrying, which is usually the case in a demo, it will fail the very first time. And in fact, you see, I was just waiting for it. Let me refresh the session, and now we should be ready. So let me list the candidates with that specific role. And you see, we will get back the candidates from my Excel spreadsheet in the HR director and HR manager. You see, we have got the whole list of candidates from the Excel file in JSON format, but then the AI engine was able to filter out only those with that specific role that I'm requesting for. And again, you can have the same experience in Teams or in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. We are hitting the end of the session, so back to you, Kamal, if there are any questions or any burning topics that you want to cover before we close up.
Oh, nothing much, Paolo, but definitely this is something people are going to love, and we are looking forward for more sessions on the maker path. So this was one general awareness as to what creating agents in the studio, and it's like creating once and using it multiple times wherever you want, whether on Teams or MT65 Copilot chat, and how to integrate an Excel, getting data from it, the action part, really an awesome thing. Just wanted to understand, we always are so busy building one, publishing one, getting it in another M365 suite, everything. How about testing of an agent? Have you ever thought about it, like testing of agent that you built? How do you do that?
Well, testing an agent built with Copilot Studio can be easily done with the test interface that you have right here in the Copilot Studio user experience. So on the right side, you can interact with the agent. You can see in the activity map what's going on. You can dig into the input and output arguments, as you can see right here. So you have a really nice testing experience fully integrated in Copilot Studio. Then it can also be that you want to test it also from the, for example, from the Microsoft 365 user experience. If that is the case, you can enable the developer mode. Now, let's see if I remember correctly the syntax. You should be able to do developer mode on, if I'm not mistaken. And by doing that, you can enable the developer mode in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. Oops, of course, that was not the right one. I might be wrong on the name of the command. Sorry about that. But with a command like that, you can enable a kind of debugger mode in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat so that you can see what's going on under the cover. So, for example, for a declarative agent, you can see what kind of external plugins will be triggered by the agent, with what kind of input and output arguments and stuff like that. So that you can do additional debugging in the final user experience of Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. But definitely, if you are building an agent with Copilot Studio, this test UI is the most appropriate one. And you can also choose if you want to use the full debug mode or if you want to switch into the regular mode, so you will get the same behavior here in this test environment that you can have in Teams or in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat.
Perfect. We have another question saying, can an on-prem database be used as a data source?
Well, if on-prem is not directly accessible from a cloud-based platform like this one, but of course you can rely on technologies like the data gateway, or you can rely on a custom REST API of your own that you can configure as a custom Power Platform connector. So the short answer is out of the box, no. But if you create a custom API or a data gateway, then you can even reach an on-prem data source. Yeah.
Okay. And yes, Naveen, we do have this session recorded. I think the host will post the link of the YouTube. This is also getting live streamed on YouTube, so you do have the complete sessions getting recorded. And one question from Bharat, he asked, is the Copilot Studio license sufficient for the deployment, or do you need the entire package?
Well, I'm not a licensing expert, honestly, but in order to use Copilot Studio, you can rely on multiple options. You can have a Copilot Studio license at tenant level, and then you need to license the makers who will make the agents. And of course, if you plan to use the agents in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, you will also need the Microsoft 365 Copilot license for the end users. Or you can also rely on a consumption model. Don't ask me about the details of the prices and stuff like that, because I'm not the good one for that kind of questions. But with a consumption model, you simply use it and you will pay it as you go on a consumption-based model.
Perfect. I think you can watch out for on the official Microsoft website, the pricing part. Since we are not up to date with the pricing, it will be more detailed. So yeah, Paula, that's it with the questions. Thank you so much for the makers part and audience. Again, we had few questions on how to register for the Amplify series. Please do follow up the Reactor link that's been provided. You will find more sessions, what's the upcoming sessions, and you will have a link to register. So we do have sessions published in the comment section. So thank you, Paulo, so much for joining in today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you, audience, for joining for another season of Copilot Chronicles. Looking forward for more such surprising sessions going forward. Stay tuned. See you. Bye. Thanks, Parth.